Eu tô aqui para lutar com qualquer um, independente de quem seja. É lógico que, a minha opinião, talvez não vá valer muita coisa, mas eu tô aqui para lutar.
I'm here to fight whoever they put in front of me, and I guess sometimes maybe my opinion doesn't make too much of a difference, but I'm here to fight whoever they put in front of me.
Thank you. And for Chael, obviously you've spoken candidly throughout the build-up to this fight. Some Brazilians say maybe you crossed the line, you got a little bit too far. I'm curious, is there anything that you regret along the way, and how would you address those Brazilians to say, hey man, you went beyond height, you went a little too far in some of the things you said?
Well, first off, I offer absolutely zero apologies. And secondly, listen guys, if you're not willing to go too far, you will never go far enough in life. And I don't care. I don't promote fights, I pick fights. I'm like John Jones, I sound like Sean Combs, and I got trombone-sized stones like John Holmes.
The question was, we've never heard you in the phone conference call talk the way you did. What was the decision on why you acted that way?
Não tem jogo nenhum. Acabou a brincadeira. Não tem mais brincadeira. Pode continuar falando bobagem, mas acabou. Sábado as coisas vão mudar. Muita coisa vai mudar.
Playtime is over. He can say whatever he wants. Like I said it last week, and I'll say it again. It's over. Saturday, a lot of things are going to change. It's going to be much different after Saturday.
I have a question for Chael. And Chael, as he said, what do you think Anderson snapped at the conference call?
Well, listen, if you knew your funeral was coming up, you'd probably have some parting words as well. It's nice to see the real Anderson come through. And I don't mean his funeral in a morbid way, but it's a funeral of a career, man. This is coming to an end on 7/7 at 7 p.m., 10 in the East, and only on pay-per-view. Chael Sonnen Promotions, in conjunction with Silva LLC, will bring to you Sonnen versus Silva 2, the end. He will step aside, and the man will walk through.
Richard Hunter, KRLD, Dallas. Question for Chael. Chael, the UFC is running promos highlighting your loser leave town stipulation for this fight. Can you clarify for the record that you have rescinded that offer, and if so, what motivated you to pull it off the table?
Well, that's the way that offers work. I put it out there and he didn't accept, and I had to fight with Munoz, and then ended up fighting with Bisping, and it didn't work. I mean, it was anything I could do to lure him into this match. So, that offer got put out. There's been a lot of them that were put out there, but yes, it is rescinded. Yes. Chael Sonnen's not going anywhere.
Yes. This fight has changed a lot. It started off being in Brazil, and now it got changed to Las Vegas in America on Independence Weekend, the 4th of July weekend. How do you feel about this?
Para mim não mudou muita coisa. Desde que eu cheguei aqui, houve muita polêmica em relação ao que o Anderson estava proposto a fazer dentro do UFC. E eu acho que o povo americano que assiste o UFC viu um Anderson que há muito tempo não via nenhum outro tipo de lutador. E é isso que eu vim fazer aqui, vim fazer o meu trabalho, independente de qualquer coisa. Eu respeito os americanos e tenho certeza que eles respeitam o meu trabalho, e é isso que eu vim fazer aqui, fazer o meu trabalho.
It doesn't really make too much of a difference where this fight is at. I'm going to do my job, whether anywhere in the world. I came here, and regardless, the fans who see the type of work that I do inside the octagon, and regardless if you're American or what country you're from, I respect all the countries, and I'm sure that they respect my job that I do inside the octagon. With all the controversy that Chael Sonnen has been saying, is there a way to take this fight as a professional and not take it personal? Of course there is.
Question for for Anderson. Anderson, a lot of people talked about Chael's wrestling in the first fight, but he outstruck you as well, especially early in the fight. Were you unprepared for his striking, and do you feel like you can turn that aspect of it on in the rematch?
Muitas pessoas sempre falam do wrestling do Chael, mas na primeira luta ele atacou em você, mas que você bateu nele. Você fez umas coisas no seu treinamento para mudar isso nessa luta?
Para ele bater em pé tem que ser mágico, impossível, mano.
For him to be able to strike with me standing up, he has to be a magician. It's impossible for him to stand up with me.
Why are you asking questions in English? Anderson sits here like he doesn't understand you. Ed Soros interprets, and we got to hear it a second time. First off, he speaks English, and second, we could replace Ed Soros with an app I could download for $9.99. Are we in here? This is the strangest thing I've been part of. You know, people ask me if I wanted to go to Brazil for the fight. Sure, it'd be neutral territory. Anderson lives in a mansion in Beverly Hills. Las Vegas, Nevada is closer to him than it is to Westland, Oregon. He's got home court advantage. What are we even doing here, guys? This is insanity. He sits over and pretends he doesn't speak English? Come on. Like pretending you're the world champion. I can't believe... Guy walks around with a fake belt. That's insane. I would never do that.
Oh, you went too far with the fake belt.
It's kind of like the way you speak Portuguese, right, Joe?
Exactly. $9.99 app on my iPhone.
What's keeping you from, getting real personal?
Don't answer yet, Anderson. You got to pretend you don't understand. Ed?
Você é muito tranquilo. O que você está falando para você se sentir tão tranquilo assim e não deixar isso passar dos...
O resultado vai ser 100%.
If you train 100%, the result will be 100%. I'm 100% trained, and the results are going to be 100%.
The road to a championship bout is a hard one, and the fact you've managed to get here twice now, do you feel like there's any more pressure this time around for you to get this belt because it may be your last?
Yeah, you got to understand, you have to earn pressure. If I just walked into this thing and I was green and it was my first time at the dance, I wouldn't have anything expected of me. I have earned the right to feel pressure. And it doesn't matter how I feel. Happy, sad, sick, indifferent on 7/7 at 7 p.m., 10 in the East, and only on pay-per-view. They are going to call my name, and my music hits those speakers. I'll put that mouthpiece in, and I will make that walk because I said I would. I signed a contract, and I'll do it, no matter how I feel, no matter about pressure or anything else. And when Bruce Buffer gets out of my way and that ref says fight, I will.
Folks maintain that you are the greatest fighter in the history of the sport. Just want to know where you see yourself kind of in the pantheon of greats in the sport.
Muitas pessoas falam que você é o melhor lutador que já lutou nesse esporte. Como você se sente quando as pessoas comentam isso?
Eu tento manter sempre o meu foco. Eu acho que ser o melhor não é um fato, né? É uma opinião. Então você tem que estar sempre focado, treinado e com os pés no chão.
I have to stay focused, when someone says that I'm the greatest, that's not a fact, it's an opinion. So I just try to stay focused and try to, keep my feet on the ground and just stay focused to do my best.
And then for Dana, you've obviously been pretty clear on your thoughts on where Anderson ranks with the all-time greats. If he were to lose on Saturday, does that knock him down?
No, everybody loses. One of the things I think that's even more amazing about Anderson is everybody doesn't realize he's like 38 years old too, and the guy is still performing at that level, which is a feat in itself. He's still the greatest, the pound-for-pound best fighter in the world at that age and has shown no signs of slowing down whatsoever, and I do believe that he is the best ever.
And Chael, do I dare ask you where you see Anderson in the list of all-time great fighters?
Listen, man, his record speaks for itself. He's a good, durable fighter. He's the champion, but I am the best. And there can be only one. And I'm not going to make any apologies for that. He's done a good, solid job. He's a durable guy. and there's a tremendous difference. And on Saturday night, there'll be one more in the win column, one more for the highlight reel, and one more for the bad guy.
First question for Chel Ángel from the amateur in Puerto Rico. Chel, can you talk about your actual motivations behind this fight and your drive to be the champion?
Well, I mean, listen, this is the entire point of sport. It is for championships. It's Olympic year, you know. It's about sacrifice and getting to the top. And I hear some guys, you know, for some guys it's about respect, and I don't know what that's about. This is a fight. It's a competition. There can be only one. Your skills against my skills. Your heart against mine. Your sacrifice against mine. And there's no point in paying the prices that I've paid for anything less than to set your goals at the top.
For Anderson, any concern that you might, from you or anyone in your camp, you might come into this fight too emotional and maybe drive away from the fight plan a little bit? Nope. Last question for Dana. You have to stand up here and listen to Chel say, I don't promote fights, but then he says, Chel promotions in conjunction with Silva. See, you have to laugh about what he says. What do you think when you listen to him say stuff like that?
I've heard him say it all. I've been in some crazy places where he said it all, and you know, I don't know if we've heard it all, but it's Chel. It's just, you know, the thing about Chel is, and I said this before, is I respect the fact that he does talk a lot, but he goes in and he fights. The guy definitely backs up his talk. So.
Yeah. Yes. Good luck.
Question for Chel. Chel, up here. All your criticisms and witticisms are all quite calm and calculating and very, very entertaining, I must hasten to add. Last week when Anderson Silva kind of spilled the beans emotionally in that conference call on the phone, did you take something from that? And was there anything you left out of it in terms of the criticism he poured forth towards you?
No, I don't. You know, there's no gamesmanship here with me. I'm not trying to get in his head. I don't even really know what that means. You know, look, he erupted. The real Anderson came through. You know, he tried to talk down to me like I'm Vitor Belfort and I'm going to wilt and go in the corner. The fact is, I've been picking a fight for 2 years, and it looks like I found what I'm looking for.
Yeah. Chel, follow that up. Where do you go if you're unsuccessful on 7-7? Where do you go mentally after the devastating loss that you had within a minute of being the champion? Where do you go from here?
Well, listen, it's like anything in life. You know, you put one foot in front of the next either way. After this fight, I will do the same thing I always do, which is take my Aunt Paulette out and get her a lobster tail.
Entertaining thoughts of retirement?
Nope.
Listened to Chael Sonnen do all this stuff for 2 years, 2.5 years, and you never really responded to it. So why did you choose the conference call to come out and say all this? Did you just want him to know what you were planning to do to him? Was it just emotions? Were you having a bad day? Was it to hype the fight? Why choose that particular moment to come out in a way that none of us had really heard you before?
Acabou a brincadeira. Vocês não estão entendendo o que vai acontecer. Acabou a brincadeira. Não tem mais brincadeira. Chel, em outras palavras, a Ferrari.
You know, I have no words to really explain it other than the game is over. The game is over. You guys will see on Saturday night what I'm talking about. I don't have anything else to say other than he's screwed. Many people are saying that Chael Sonnen doesn't deserve to have this rematch. And how do you feel, and how are we going to feel after the fight?
Olha só, eu também acho que ele não merece lutar, mas eu sou um funcionário do UFC e estou aqui para lutar. Se eu tiver que espancar ele mais 10 vezes, isso vai acontecer. Não vai ter problema.
I also don't believe Chael deserves a rematch, but hey, you know, I'm an employee of the UFC, and if I have to go in there and beat his ass 10 more times, I'll beat his ass 10 more times.
You like your steak medium rare. Dana, have you ever seen a fighter insert the personal life of another fighter like this, commenting on someone's wife? And Chael, did you feel that you had to raise the stakes that way because it's that personal for you that you would comment on Anderson's personal life?
Well, in fairness, why don't you give us the quote? Because I continually hear what I said, but nobody's actually got the exact quote, and it's evolved a number of times. This is still a family event. I've never used profanity, and I never used the, you know, a lot of this is getting changed a little bit, and I'm not backtracking for a minute of it. It was great commentary, and I don't regret saying it, but at the same time, it wasn't said when it continually gets said that it's said, okay? People say, should it be personal? Well, it is personal. This guy's come over to my house and he's trying to steal, and I'm going to meet him at the door with closed fists, and that's the way it's going to go, okay? I don't offer an apology, and I don't really care. And if he wants to act like his feelings are hurt, well, where's he been the last 2 years? Where was he the 4 years before that? Where was Rich Franklin at before that? I've called these guys, I've been the best for a long time, and I didn't get my shot. And I really don't give a damn if it hurt his feelings.
And for Anderson, is that more offensive than the comments Chael made about Brazil?
Os comentários que ele falou da tua esposa é mais ofensivo para você que as coisas que ele falou do Brasil?
Olha só, nós fazemos parte de um grupo seleto de atletas que representam uma grande companhia, que é o UFC. E milhares de pessoas assistem ao UFC. E o Chael foi totalmente infeliz nos comentários dele em relação à minha esposa, em relação ao meu país. E isso reflete muito mal, não só para os americanos, mas para o UFC também.
You know, all of us athletes are part of a very elite group of the top athletes in the world that fight for this great company in the UFC. I believe that the comments that he made about my wife, the comments that he made about my country is very disrespectful, not only to me, but to the country and also to the UFC. I think that we're very elite top athletes, and we shouldn't be talking like that about each other. You know, just to say it, I mean, Chael was, you know, he tested positive for steroids. He offended the nation. You know, he's been charged with a crime. It's just, I mean, how can you take anything that this guy says for real? I mean, this guy's ridiculous. You know, Chael, once again, you know, I feel that he doesn't deserve it. It's not even so much about me. I mean, he was in his most dominant position for most of the fight. If I was in the most dominant position for a few seconds, the fight wouldn't have went the way it went. And I know that my ribs are injured. I'm not making excuses. I'm more explaining everything. But, you know, he got, you know, the other fighters that I've faced in the UFC are much more qualified than Chael. I mean, I beat a guy up for 5 rounds in Abu Dhabi, and this guy submitted him in seconds in the UFC. So to me, I just don't think this guy deserves it.
We talked a little bit about this before, and you said that you tapped out in the fifth round, but you didn't know the rule that the fight was going to be over. Do you know the rules now, and do you think Anderson Silva deserved a rematch?
Well, I got to plead ignorance on that first fight, and you're right. I thought if you tapped, it ended the round. I did not know that the contest as a whole would come to a conclusion. I do now know, so that is cleared up. As far as deserving of a rematch, man, I don't get that talk. That's just ridiculous talk right there. You know, I'd love to give everybody a match. When I win this championship, I will never be a closet champion. The most frustrating thing about being an athlete in this sport is that you only get to compete 3 times a year. As a wrestler, I'd beat 8 or 9 guys in one day. And, you know, I don't get that. Who deserves it? Who, man, if you're 185 pounds and you say my name, I will give you a beat the same as anybody else.
This question is for Chael, over here to your left. I was just curious if you feel a lot safer about this fight now that it's been moved to Las Vegas.
Well, you might want to check your local paper. You guys aren't exactly a haven for civility at all times. Just because we're in Las Vegas, all of a sudden, you know, start roaming around late at night. But I mean, listen, I'd rather not make the trip when you're cutting weight. The trip is hard, but fair is fair. Somebody's got to do it, and he did it the first time, and I would return the favor. So, you know, if you're asking me where I would rather fight, I'd rather not have a long plane ride. That's a fair statement, but I'll do it either way.
Thank you.
What changed? Why did you take the fight? Was it revenge? Was it just financial? Was it because Dana bullied you? What changed?
Second part, well, the first part was basically, yes, I'm here because I love what I do. Since the minute I came into the UFC, Dana and Lorenzo have always treated me very well. The second part is that, we can't forget, especially you guys as American people, can't forget the statements that this guy made about Lance Armstrong, who's one of the greatest athletes in American history. And, him talking about him giving himself steroids and doing all the things that he said that he did. But now also, Chael has got the TRT replacement, which to me and to a lot of people is pretty much a similar type of thing that he was complaining about, that Lance Armstrong was doping and doing all these things. And not only to myself, but I feel that the people responsible for the UFC and the Athletic Commission should take a second look at that.
And obviously not to open up that whole can of worms, but basically, kind of, you accused Lance Armstrong of cheating in the past, and was kind of comparing you to that. Do you have a response to that? I mean, is TRT fair to be using, or what's your take on it?
Well, that's a ridiculous question. What's my take on it? I mean, come on, it's very public. I'm not proud of it. I don't take my medication, I will die. I don't need to apologize for that. What do you want me to say on the topic? Talk to the commission. There's a number of rules, and we'll follow all of the rules.
Primarily after the fight, you always, greet the opponent after you beat them and talk to them and show them respect, like you did the last time with Chael. You did the same thing. Do you plan on doing that this time?
Claro. Isso é esporte. Eu acho que eu sou atleta marcial. A disciplina.
Yes, of course I will. At the end of the day, this is a sporting event, and I've trained martial arts my whole life, and one thing that was taught to me is that I respect all my opponents. And he doesn't make any the same thing, falls under the same category. Even though everything that he said, I'm going to respect him because that's the way I was raised and I was trained to think that way.
I know with the Fan Expo and all that going on, how's the weight cut going?
It's on track. It's a bear. It's always a bear, but it's part of it. You agree to do something, and it'll get done.
All right, give the mic to the yelling guy over there. Yeah. Not that you need a mic. There you go.
Silva, do you still stand by your statement that you're going to inflict injury on his face? And what is your reply to Silva's statement?
I'm just going to say that vai fazer que você falou na press conference que você vai quebrar a cara dele.
Yes.
The growing population, the youth that follow the sport, you got a lot of your kids out here to see their heroes, their sport figures. Do you ever feel that you may be setting the wrong example for the future?
Do I know? Absolutely not, man. This is about competition, and it's about going after what you want. If you got to break a few eggs to make an omelet, it's fine with me.
How do you predict the fight's going to go?
Man, victory. All I can tell you is it's going to be a hard fight. It's like we just had to do this primetime show, and they come out and they get ready to spar, and so they say, "Hey, should we turn the cameras off?" I said, "Well, they didn't turn the cameras." They go, "Well, but you're going to spar. He's going to study that." It's like, guys, I'll tell you right now, I'm going to walk out there as soon as I get the chance. I'm going to wait for him to throw a kick like he always does. I'm going to put my forehead in his chest, run him into that cage, put him on his prissy little ass, and run this into his head for 25 minutes or until he gives up. That's my prediction.
Vou bater nele, vou bater nele, vou bater nele, ele vai tentar me agarrar, eu vou bater nele de novo, eu vou bater nele, eu vou bater nele, e ele vai desistir.
Well, the way it's going to go is I'm going to hit him, then I'm going to hit him some more, then I'm going to hit him even more, and then he's going to try to grab onto me. I'm going to keep hitting him until he gives up.
And I just want to say you're the greatest fighter in history of any sport. And I just want to ask you, Chael's been talking a lot about how the fight's going to go, 25 minutes, or until you give up. What's your prediction on how long it'll go? First round, second round, TKO, KO?
I believe it's going to end in the first round.
Next question.
This question is for Chael. I was just curious, has submission defense, especially the triangle choke, been
priority in this camp?
Well, we work on everything, man. Everything's got to get better. You know, bigger, stronger, faster, meaner, punches, kicks, wrestling. Everything's got to get better. And you know, all I can tell you is that Chael of today could beat up Chael of 2 years ago. Chael 2 years ago stomped this ball.
Match for Michael Bisping.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I will not back down from anybody ever. And I think Bisping is excellent, and he's a very hard puzzle for me. For my skills, it was a very hard match. I'd fight him 5 times in the same day. I will never, ever, ever back down. When the day comes that I won't fight a man, I won't fight any of them. I'm not a bully. I will never pick on people that I know I can beat. If I knew I could win this fight, I would have showed up.
Awesome.
Hey, this is for Chael. I just wanted to know why you reneged on your retirement if you lost this match. And if you do lose this match, will you please retire and go into pro wrestling? Because you got the perfect mouth for it, man.
Well, I don't know if I reneged, man. I put an offer out there and it didn't get accepted. The ball wasn't on me to pull it back. It was not accepted. What you're talking about came after a fight with a gentleman named Brian Stan. I had to go sign a contract to fight Mark Munoz, sign another contract to fight Michael Bisping, and to work like heck to get this contract signed. So it wasn't on my part. I put an offer out there. It didn't work. I had to put new offers out there.
All right, thank you all very much for coming today. We appreciate your support. Here and give these guys ready for some photographs. Thank you. Thank you. So bad. Yeah.
Yeah.